Boom. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to Waves Capital, and welcome back to another edition of Sunday Stock Watch. It's been a few years, and I felt like it was finally time to revive the series. But before we talk stocks and what to look forward to in the week ahead, I need to let you guys know that all future episodes of Sunday Stock Watch are going to be exclusive to YouTube channel members only. If you want to join, if you want to become a Waves official member, $5 a month, then hit the join button below this video. And if you're on a phone and you don't see it, then it should work on a computer. But this has been really fun, guys. And I really like the special community we're building over here on these members' videos. Bringing it back to the basics, the type of videos I really built this channel on a few years back. Short, sweet, to the point, just stand in front of my computer, talk some technicals, talk some fundamentals. Good times. If you guys do want to join, then it really does mean a lot, and I really do appreciate it. But if not, no worries at all. I appreciate you watching this video, and I hope you gain some value from it. Talk to me in the comments. I always love talking to you guys. Okay, so that said, short and sweet, we're going to take a look at a few stocks today. The stocks we're going to be looking at are Palantir, C3 AI Inc., Veritone, Unity, and RIOT platforms. And at the very end, I'm actually going to take a look at Apple, which is my primary put options play, my primary short play in the market. Far more bullish on small caps, mid caps than mega caps of big dog Apple. And I'll just talk to you about kind of how I'm hedging myself through the weeks ahead, because October is historically a pretty shaky month, okay? Pretty spooky month. All right, so that's the video. I'm just going to go not going to go super fast, but I'm going to try to be timely with these charts, just talk price targets, talk specifically about the week ahead. These Sunday Stock Watch analyses are intended to be more short-term analysis, like literally what to expect in the week ahead. And I want to kick it off by taking a look, not watching this video, but really just taking a look at Cramer's, where did that go? Cramer's kind of just week ahead, okay? I don't necessarily agree with everything Stream Kramer says, but I do like Kramer. He's a fun guy. What I do like, though, are these little things he puts together of the week ahead, because they're aesthetically pleasing and informative, okay? So Monday, pretty slow. Tuesday is when things start picking up. We got earnings from PepsiCo, GM, and then Wednesday is when the macro is really going to start spicing up, okay? We have the Fed minutes. They just cut rates. They just cut rates by 50 basis points, 0.5%. And this is where they're going to discuss the rationale behind that cut and what could potentially be coming in the future. Thursday is going to be an even bigger deal, in my opinion. We have the CPI report. Along with the slew of earnings, we have the CPI report. We just had that port strike, shaking things up for sure. There are definitely some inflationary worries, so I think this CPI report could stir up the pot, which makes me even more, like, if we rally into Thursday, I would definitely advise maybe hedging your portfolio a little bit more with puts, especially if we rally into the CPI report. But again, we have a slew of earnings. We have Delta, Domino's, Tesla, Tesla's robot event, the robo-taxi event. We have earnings from AMD. We have HP earnings. There's a lot going on. Okay, and then Friday, we have the PPI reports, producer price index reports, also a big Fed indicator, so that's going to make some waves in the market as well. CPI, though, definitely the prevailing Fed inflationary gauge. So Thursday, Friday, big Fed stuff. I guess Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, the whole latter half of this week, going to be big for Fed speak. But then the big banks kick off earnings: Wells Fargo, JP Morgan Chase, BlackRock, and NVIDIA. The big NVIDIA. Okay, I don't think NVIDIA isn't announcing earnings, but I'm pretty sure that NVIDIA does have some investor day of some sort. Okay, so that's the game plan this week. Things are really spicing up. The first week of October, very, very good stuff over at Waves Capital. We made some great plays. As you can see here, a lot of the plays that are really the primary stocks we talk about here on the channel, absolutely been crushing it. And I'm excited to talk to you guys about them. So just get ready for an exciting week ahead. Get ready for some volatility. But again, you guys know the drill. Waves Capital thrives in times of volatility, and especially when small caps, mid caps begin outperforming mega caps on a consistent basis, which is really what we're seeing now. And that's, love to see it. Okay. So Palantir is the first one we're going to be covering in the week ahead. Again, you guys, keeping this short term, not going long term, not going into November, December, keeping this week ahead, 2 weeks max. Okay. Palantir, looking very, very strong. Palantir closed the day and the week, and a 4-hour candle, obviously, above this line of long-term resistance here on this ascending wedge pattern. That's very, very bullish on top of volume picking up. We're seeing strong volume. The average volume has really picked up. We were a little below average volume, but it's not a big deal because average volume has picked up significantly over the past couple of months. And with this closure above this line of resistance, I do think Palantir has a pretty clear shot over these next couple of days to reaching these historical ceilings, okay? With the max ceiling being Palantir's prior all-time high of $45. We're only 13% away from Palantir's prior all-time high. And with the momentum Palantir has, with this geopolitical conflict in which Palantir honestly thrives due to their contracting with the U.S. government and their positioning in military intelligence, I do think Palantir has a very strong argument from a fundamental perspective to be made on top of strong earnings. Just, again, all of the macroeconomic, I should say geopolitical more specifically, stirring up is good for Palantir. And I do think the Palantir not only has the technicals on its side with the breakouts, but the fundamentals as well. My first price target for Palantir in the short term is going to be about $42 just to play conservatively, about 5% up from current levels at 40 flat. Where we closed the first week of October. And from there, if we manage to break above that $42 level, I do think we have a fairly clear shot to, again, keep really stay on our toes here. We over Waves Capital in the Waves portfolio, we have taken some significant profits in Palantir over the past week. Big gains. That's what happens when we make good plays. But keep an eye on this RSI, okay? So let's actually go to one-day RSI. One-day stochastic RSI looking super bullish, curling upwards. But we are getting pretty close to overbought levels, which don't matter a whole lot if you do have like this hype and momentum that Palantir has. But just keep in mind, the longer we spend in oversold territory, the more likely a pullback in the short term becomes. Okay, so just be careful. Don't get greedy. Take some profits. And I'm excited to ride through the weeks ahead. And just to reference this, you guys, this is actually my flash trade newsletter from September 9th. So you can see that we've been covering Palantir for a while. We have made so much money, just to be straight up, from Palantir over the past couple of months. Been playing this well, caught the trend early, posted some videos about Palantir a while back, so that I'm sure that's not super surprising, especially if you're part of the portfolio already, you would know that. But Palantir been doing extremely good for us. All these stocks we're going to be talking about really doing good for us. So if you guys want to literally know exactly how I'm trading my personal portfolio every day, if you guys want to look into my options portfolio, into my full portfolio, along with these daily trade alerts and comprehensive newsletters that, again, I spend all day, every day, for the most part, writing these, on top of trading, obviously. If you want to become a member of this is $15 a month. This is going to be the first link in the description of this video. It's my complete portfolio, daily trade alerts, email newsletters. You get everything that this box here entails. And again, if you do want to join, I'll let you pick whichever plan you want. It's obviously up to you. If you do join, once again, look forward to riding the waves with you. It's been an amazing summer. We are up well over 400% this year, and I'm very proud to say that. And I think we're going to close out the year with a bang. So again, if you want to become a member of Waves Capital of the Newsletter Portfolio Group, it's the first link in the description of this video. Let's move on to C3 AI Inc. AI really looking, not quite looking as promising as Palantir is. Definitely not on the same macro long-term trajectory as Palantir. But in terms of the short term, we're looking pretty good. You can see here one-day stochastic RSI. Curled upwards. We locked in the week. We locked in the daily candle, curling upwards on stochastic RSI. 1D RSI has broken above its EMA, exponential moving average. That's bullish. Right now, I do think that it's very possible that C3 AI ultimately ends up retesting this line of broken supports, as new resistance in the not so distant future. If it happens by what's the end of next week is actually the 11th. Okay, so if we do retest this line of prior shorter term support as new resistance, and if we test that at the intersection of this line of long term resistance on C3I's overall downtrend, That intersects almost perfectly on on Friday, actually, on Thursday, Friday at about 26.70. Okay. So I do think C3 can climb close to $27. I would definitely be looking to take some profits there. But if C3 can break above this line of longer term resistance, I think it's definitely possible that we climb to the top end of this long term trading range around $31. Okay. So that's C3. We were well positioned on C3 or C3 AI put options, call options on C3 AI did incredibly well in the portfolio. I mean, that's, again, you're seeing so much green on the watch list right now. If you have call options on any of these, they're doing good, but I'm glad that we caught them early, and I'm really proud of how we've been playing the markets over in the portfolio. Okay, so if you guys are members, once again, cheers. It's been an amazing week. Let's keep the ball rolling, and if not, then join. What are you guys waiting for? Okay, $15 a month will pay itself off very quick, regardless of how much you're trading with the gains that we've made this year, okay, and the past few years. We're good traders, okay, and I'm very proud to say that. I put my life into this. I have no issues claiming that I'm a good trader, because that's what I dedicate my life to, okay? You work hard. I mean, it's kind of play. It's fun. It's fun for me. It's definitely work. But work becomes a lot less work intensive when you're having fun. A little cheesy, but it's true. Okay, so Veritone had a killer day on Friday. Veritone up 12% on Friday. Volume picking up. We saw almost double the average volume on Friday. 1 day stochastic RSI curling up. 1 day RSI blowing above its exponential moving average. Nowhere near overbought levels just yet. I think that, technically, Veritone is in a very, very clear ascending channel, like longer term ascending channel pattern. I wouldn't be surprised at all to see Veritone test the top line of resistance on this channel, on this ascending channel over the next couple of weeks. If that intersects with my line of long-term conservative resistance, I say conservative because I'm not using it like this is absolute resistance, this kind of sky blue line. The cyan one is going to be conservative resistance because we have multiple touch points there. If we test that intersection, that would take us up to about $5.45 in the middle of the month on October 16th, which would be, what is that? That's not next Friday, but that would be next Wednesday. Okay. So again, is this for sure going to happen? Absolutely not. Would I be surprised to see this happen? Absolutely not. Okay. So it's Veritone, Unity, RIOT, and I'll close it out with the Big Apple. Unity looking amazing. Okay. So I actually want to reference this. Where did it go? Here we go. Okay. So this news is really what got me excited about Unity on Friday. Ubisoft got acquired. Okay. Or Ubisoft said it's in the process of exploring a sale. Okay. Exploring a sale means you want to get bought. You want to get bought out by a larger company. And Ubisoft is not exactly the same company as Unity. Obviously, they are different companies, but they do share a lot of similarities. They're both in the gaming space. The gaming space is starting to pick up momentum again, finally, after kind of that post-COVID lull. And I do think Unity is really, especially given some of the recent advancements, which we're not going to get into now, I think Unity does have the fundamentals on its side. I do think that the future is looking bright for Unity. I think their earnings report on November 6th is going to be impressive. And again, the portfolio reflects that. Money where my mouth is. As far as the technicals are concerned, I was worried. I was definitely worried about the short-term head and shoulders pattern definitely playing out. But I also, you guys who are members of the newsletter would know this, called for a bear trap on this. And that's exactly what we got. By breaking above just kind of like this top level, like the $21 region, which is the top line of resistance on this opposing shoulder of what would have been a head and shoulders pattern. By breaking above $21, we pretty much eliminated the potential for that head and shoulders pattern to play out. Very good news for the bulls. RSI and stochastic RSI 1D, or if this is 4 hour actually, let's take a look at 1 day. 1 day is probably looking pretty similar. 1 day, not quite as convincing because we are still below the exponential moving average, have not yet curled up, have not yet crossed over. But still, I think the fundamental momentum can carry Unity higher and just overall small to mid cap momentum. My next price target for Unity, my first major profit target for Unity, on top of the profits that we've already taken over the past couple of weeks once around this area. So we've actually been playing this pretty darn well, is going to be $24.90. If we can break above that, that's very bullish, and we'll cross those bridges when we come to them, hopefully in the next Sunday stock watch. But right now, I do think we can close in on $25 over the next week or two, and I'm looking forward to seeing what our calls can do. Okay, Riot Platforms, Bitcoin looking good this week. Bitcoin looking good as we prepare to kick off the new week. Let's hope that can translate into the day ahead. You never know. Bitcoin is the king of bull traps and bear traps. But as far as Riot is concerned, things are picking up. We saw 20 million shares traded on a 15 to 16 mil average. You like to see that. You always like to see an increase in volume. I said a few days ago in the newsletter that I do think Riot has officially bottomed out. It looks to me like that we just continue to get confirmation of that. I'm not saying we're like going to rip higher, but I do think that we bottomed out. I do think we've seen the lowest levels that Riot is probably going to see for the rest of the year. Again, this is just my opinion, but again, volume picking up, Bitcoin looking good. Overall macro momentum with the bulls. I do think if Riot can break this line of short-term resistance, we have a pretty clean shot up to $9. And from there, once again, we'll just cross those bridges when we come to them. Plenty of levels to look at and plenty of fun trading to be had with Riot call options. Okay, let's take a look at Apple, then call it a day. Apple, again, this looks beautifully bearish in my opinion. I think Apple is so overbought. They're trading at a PE ratio of 34.36. Given this macroeconomic climate, given the fact that I think that this AI-driven iPhone cycle is lunacy and not legit. Again, I've been an Apple user. I have Apple products surrounding me right now. I'm recording this on an Apple desktop. I love Apple, but there's a difference between a company and the stock price. I think that this iPhone cycle is going to be incredibly weak. Again, all my friends have iPhones. I don't know anyone getting a new iPhone. I typically get the new iPhone every year. I'm not saying this to stun or anything. I literally do. And I have no desire to get this new one. And I just think that's, for the most part, everyone's hurting on money. Like, no one's in great financial shape. And that's bad news for Apple, because ultimately Apple is a pretty mid-tier luxury product. And I feel like that's the consumer that's kind of really struggling the most right now. That's just my anecdotal feelings. But again, I feel like I have my finger pretty tightly on the pulse of just who is the Apple consumer. Okay, so again, bearish on Apple fundamentally. Technicals, 1D RSI below its exponential moving average, bearish. 1D stochastic RSI looking bearish as well, on its way down. I don't think it manages to cross over. And I do think that Apple, at the very least, in the week ahead, this is kind of my thesis in the week ahead. I think that Apple breaks this line of support. I think that this is a bull trap, a symmetrical-ish, ascending-ish triangle pattern. A lot of traders are going to think this is going to break out to the upside. Apple trading like incredibly low volume. This is how it's been for a few days now, for like a week or two actually. Like 37 mils shares traded on 55 million average. Low volume, poor technicals, poor fundamental momentum. I do think Apple pulls back, especially, and again, there's shinier objects out there. Who wants Apple when it's plateauing versus all these other small cap GMs that are just skyrocketing, okay? Capital is going to flow out of Apple into these more historically undervalued regions of the market. At least that's my thesis. That's what I'm trading upon. And I think Apple breaks below this line of support, this yellow line right here. I think we come pretty quickly down to this orange line I have drawn, just kind of that's acted as a floor over the past month or two, around 218. If we break below that, I think it's going to be a quick descent down to this prior line of resistance that I believe will come into play as new supports. If we test this by mid-October, by next Friday, that would take us down to a whopping 206 Apple, a near 9% correction. That may sound crazy for a company worth $3.45 trillion, but just look at this chart, you guys. It's happened multiple times this year. I see no reason it can't happen again. And I think that's not a day of reckoning, but I think Apple is due for a significant correction. And again, money where my mouth is, I have a lot of Apple puts. If you guys want my daily newsletters, my daily trade alerts, and a look into my personal portfolio, it's the first link in the description of this video. If you want all future Sunday Stock Watch episodes, it's $5 a month, you guys. Again, it means a lot if you join, and I really do want to build this group. These are fun. Like I'm excited about making videos again. It's been a long time, if I'm being honest. And I just really appreciate it if you join. So hit that join button, join the channel, and I look forward to riding through the rest of the year with you guys. The month of October, November, December should be a fun couple of months. The holiday season's here. Let's make the best of it, and I appreciate you guys. Until next time, always remember, Take action. Make waves. Peace, guys.